Hi everyone! Today we are going to learn a well-known modern piece, Idea 10 by Gibran Alcocer. Yes, it's really popular right now, you can hear it everywhere. The composer Gibran is a contemporary musician from Mexico, known for his emotional and atmospheric pieces. One of them, Idea 10, is a calm yet rich piece where a flowing musical line unfolds, featuring a distinct theme, words-like accompaniment, delicate texture, and steady rhythm. I'll be breaking down my own cover of Idea 10, which I arranged myself, but it truly sounds just like the original. By the way, you can listen to it on my YouTube channel. I leave the link below. Before we begin, let me say one thing. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are steps towards success. Focus on the learning process and enjoy the little victories. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see your reactions, comments, and suggestions. Let me know which pieces you'd like me to break down next. So, let's dive into the piece. We'll start by analyzing its structure. In Idea 10, I identify 7 musical phrases. I'll be calling them small sections in my video lesson. The first one is the introductory part, presenting the main theme. The second section is the main, vibrant theme, the one that everyone recognizes as the essence of this piece. The third is a calm, transitional section with flowing melodic movements. The fourth section is a repetition of the main theme. The fifth section is a transitional part, but with a greater sense of climax, featuring beautiful octaves in the right hand. It's turbulent and energetic. The sixth section is the third and final presentation of the main theme. It's the most emotional one, with added ornamentation and dynamics. And the last section is the final coda, the shortest part, which brings us calm. The music fades out. The main motive gradually slows down, with no clear ending, as if it slowly fades into mist and dissolves. So, there is a quite harmonious structure present. I really like the structure. In a way, it even reminds me of a song with repeating choruses. Perhaps you'll find it similar too. Idea is in a 6/8 time signature. I describe it like this. In one measure, there are 2 little waltzes hidden. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, with 2 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As for the key signatures, at the beginning of the staff, we see 2 flats, B flat and E flat. This means that any B and E note that appear throughout the piece should be lowered. Okay, the key of this composition is G minor. In other words, G is the main note here. Everything gravitates towards it, and since it's in a minor key, it gives the piece a more melancholic or sad mood. I'll now play the G minor scale. These are the exact notes that will be used throughout the composition. Alright, let's dive into the note analysis. The first section. Let's start with the right hand. It has the main role, it plays the melody. It starts with a pickup. You can see it's an incomplete measure where the melody begins not on the strong beat, as we're used to, but on the weak one with 3 notes. We start by playing with the thumb. The G note, by the way, starts on the tonic. G, G, B flat, move up to C, alternate, the note is tight. After that we repeat, but in succession, alternating again. B flat, tight note. Here, play B flat with the 4th finger to place your 3rd finger on A. And G, play 3 times with the 2nd finger. F, 1st finger, and then return to G. That was the first phrase. Let's move on to the second phrase. Change to G and again start with the thumb. Skip over the finger, then move up, alternating. C, tight note. And now a beautiful way with the 5th finger. From the 5th finger we go down, skip a note, and then move up to B flat, alternating and tying the note. Now the repetition. 3 B flat notes, then descend to A, and move the 2nd finger down like this. G, G, G. Play a flower then move up to G, gradually moving upward, and then gradually to B flat. That's the first lateral section. By the way, you might notice that the fourth and eighth measures are exactly the same. Let's take a look at them. A, G, 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 F, G. And indeed, it's the same the second time. Now let's play with the correct rhythm. Since we have a 6/8 time signature, I'll count to 6. But to make it easier to play the 16th notes, which are faster, I'll say the word "and" between the numbers. So the 16th note will be played on each phrase and the 8th note on every second phrase. Look at this. The 8th note is played on each number. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and the 16th note will be played on each phrase because it's twice as fast. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and... Now I will play slowly and count so you can understand how to execute this rhythm. The 16 notes are faster, so be attentive. They're more lively. Let's go. And 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. The last long duration. Be attentive when playing the dotted rhythm, especially in the 4th and 8th measures. Each transition quite quickly. There is 16th note, 8th note, 8th note with a dot, followed by a 16th note and a half note. And the dotted 8th note is held for 3 phrases, 5 and 6. Alright, the left hand, which we'll start analyzing now, is responsible for the accompaniment. It provides a pleasant, harmonious background, supporting the melody. Let's now break it down and practice finding the chords quickly. In fact, the left hand will play almost the same thing throughout the piece. The key is to remember which bass notes and chords it will play. I recommend quickly scanning the left hand notes and you'll notice a certain pattern. Each measure begins with a bass played in octaves. Then there are 2 intervals played higher. Next a secondary bass, but higher. And once again, the same 2 upper intervals. This is the true waltz. Alright, in the second measure, the left hand starts playing. So first, it has a rest. And only after that, it begins to play. The bass is C in octaves, both in the great and small octaves. Then we move up to the next higher octave. The interval will be C, E flat. I'm playing with the first and second fingers. With the fifth, I'm playing the secondary bass lower. And again I repeat these 2 upper intervals. After that, I return down to the octave, but this time it will be G. Move up to B flat and D. I play G, and then the 2 upper intervals. I drop down to the octave with F, then I move up to A and D. This is a 4th, a wider interval. F, secondary bass. I play those intervals again and then descend into E flat. Higher intervals, G and B flat. Secondary bass, G and B. The same pattern repeats again. It all starts with C, G secondary bass, G octave, We have the adjacent intervals B and D, F octave, move up to A and D. We'll repeat them again. And here once more we have E flat, G and B flat, and E flat. G and C, expand this interval, then it doesn't repeat, E play again, and expand it further. Play it 3 times. Here, remember, the interval will expand. It feels like they're going into deep philosophical reflections. Super! For better understanding, to find the most comfortable finger for the upper notes, play the bass and then connect all the upper notes with the secondary bass in a chord. The fingers that naturally fit will likely be the most comfortable to use. Yeah, it's a great exercise. Now, notice that you're playing the same harmonic sequence. It's 4 harmonies, starting from C, G, F, and E flat. And then it repeats again. Harmonies tend to stay consistent and follow a certain chain of development, creating a sense of stability and progression in the music. Let's break down the first harmony. It's C minor. How did I determine that? By looking at the bass note and the upper notes. I have G, C, and E, which form an inversion of the standard C minor triad. The next one is G minor. Here, it's immediately clear. The upper notes form a G minor triad. The third harmony might seem like F, but here's the trick, it's actually not F. In fact, F serves as a substitute for the main note. Let's combine all the notes and rearrange them to form our standard triad. And voila, it turns into D minor. The main harmony is still D, but with an F bass. This kind of inversion can sometimes appear in the accompaniment. And the last harmony is also easy to identify. It's E flat major. It has a warm, rich sound. Exactly. C minor in this context feels like a question. G minor is a stable tonic, providing response to this question. D minor with the F bass gradually moves away from the tonic. And E flat major is a gentle mediant. It gives time for a reflection. And they will repeat again, creating a certain cyclicity. Let's play the left hand and observe the changes in the harmonies and their modes. Alright, let's begin. I will count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, octave G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it begins to unfold. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 5, 6. Notice that all the notes here were eighth notes, except for the last one. Remember that the bass is more important than the upper notes. So, emphasize the first bass beats more and play the additional upper notes more softly and gently as they melodically fill the background. So, after practicing with each hand separately, I hope you're ready to combine the melody with the accompaniment. One thing to note, there will be many discrepancies between the hands. Yeah, that's true. They will play in different note durations, so be prepared for varying speeds in each hand's part. Also, for easier visualization of where the hands will align, vertical lines will be drawn to show these specific points. Slowly, I will now play both hands together. The right hand enters first. And here, play together, one note at a time. Then the left hand playing on its own. Between, together, together, together. Rest. Enter together, together. 2, 3, 4, 5, Here left, right together. 2, 3, 4, 5 together. Left together, together, together. Enter together, together, between, together, again left, right, together. And here it's easy, on the secondary bass, together, and together. You can go back and play this section slowly until you feel confident. Then, gradually increase the tempo at the pedal and work on musical expression, shaping the melody and balancing the accompaniment. For example, make sure to maintain a balanced dynamic between your hands. This is very important because the left hand, with its sharp accompaniment, can overpower the right hand. The melody is the most important. Keep it in the foreground while the accompaniment stays in the background. Work on your right hand to ensure it does not sound harsh or produce percussive notes. It's easy to fall into a broken style of playing, but we need connected sound that lead to the end of the motifs, with their beginnings played lightly. Pay attention to your wrist. In measures 9-10, try to make these 3 notes sound as even as possible. Each note will gradually rise, preparing us for the second section. At the end of measure 10, there is a ritenuto marking, indicating a slowdown in tempo for a thoughtful conclusion to the first section. Make this as natural as possible. Such markings will continue to appear later. Now I play at a moderate tempo, perform in mezzo piano dynamics, meaning not too quiet. Right hand, let's begin. And 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go, feeling a bit melancholic. We start the story again. Second phrase, a beautiful wave begins. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And prepare for the second part. Slowing down. Beautiful! And we smoothly transition to what I believe is the most popular part, the second section, where the main theme of the entire composition will be heard. Quite virtuosic, lively, and more dynamic. It has a beautiful intertwining of sounds in the right hand. I will refer to them as waves. We'll take these waves now and break them down. Let's start with the beautiful right hand part. You can see that the notes are written quite high. You will move up an octave, so it will start from C in the 3rd octave with the 5th finger. And the wave will go from top to bottom, descending C, G, E flat with the 5th, 2nd, and 1st fingers. You will play this 3 times. After that, there will be a consecutive descent from C with the fingers and a new wave. Again, repeat 3 times from B flat, A, and D. This is a wave with minor second interval, B, A, D. 3 times. Again, a consecutive descent from the same note. Now you descend and make a switch with the 4th finger, A. This will be a D minor triad. Same thing, play the 3rd type of wave 3 times. After that, you make a descent and return to G. Hold G with the 3rd finger. And now you will go back to this wave cycle. You rise up from D, G, A, B flat, and then to C. These waves will repeat again from the beginning 3 times. But there will be a new descent. You will touch D higher up for more emotional contrast. B and A will be left. The second type of wave has started, which you repeated earlier. You will make a descent at the end. The third type of wave, D minor, repeats 3 times again. Now you will go up with these notes. We'll make D an octave higher and place G. And you will rise, making a climb with 3 notes, just like in the first part. Have you noticed how beautiful the 3 types of waves you're playing are? The first one is C minor, like waiting for something. It had the role of question. The second wave hits a G minor, with the same sorrowful second interval in the beginning. It responds to the first wave quite sadly. The third wave is D minor. It had the behavior of departure, a descending movement that leads the melody to the contemplative note G. The second phrase starts again with a rise upwards. It has the same waves, but with such a smooth and sorrowful transition to the second wave, which touches us even more. Try to play all the waves evenly, without sharp accented sounds, keeping the dynamics as even as possible. To do this, check your hand to make sure your wrist is not pushing. Smooth wrist movements are the key to successful, even dynamics. Play at a faster tempo. Try to combine the waves. This will be 16th notes. So, you'll play them quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The left hand part repeats completely as in the first section. So for a reminder, you can go back to the part of the video where we break down the left hand. Now we will start combining them together. You will notice that, for the most part, there will be an overlap by 1 note in the right hand, since the right hand plays twice as fast as the left. But since the waves consist of 3 notes, the matching notes will constantly shift. The wave has a top note, a middle note, and a bottom note. At first, you will match together on the top note with the left hand, then on the bottom, the middle, and again on the top. To work on this movement well, I recommend using any note in the left hand as a base, for example C, or the notes of each harmony, and try playing them together with the melody in the right hand. If you handle this easily, you can combine it with the original left hand part. I will play slowly now with both hands. I will start right away together, and the note of the right hand will play in between. Together, right, together, right, together, right. The bass is secondary. Descend, move to the G minor harmony. Together, bass, together, Move to F. The try changed. The wave changed. And now the descent into G. The right hand rests. 3, 4, together, together, together. Remember, together in between, together in between. Touch D, G minor, interval, second bass, B, A, G, third type of wave. And by the way, you can observe that the notes are the same in both hands. At the end, it is played very similarly to the first section. Great! You may have noticed the unity of the notes and the harmony in both hands. For example, the first wave in the right hand is C minor, which is exactly the same as the harmony in the left hand, C minor. 12 measure, a wave with one unstable degree, G minor. This is the same harmony as in the left hand. The third wave is D minor, and in the left hand the same harmony but with an F bass. Everything has a unified harmonic progression, which is why it sounds pleasant. I'm playing close to the original tempo. Keep the evenness in your hands. Let's go together. Wow, wonderful! Dynamic marking is mezzo forte. This means not too loud, but a fuller sound than in the first section. The tempo marking at the beginning of the second section indicates that after the slowdown at the end of the first section, it is time to return to the original tempo. But toward the end of the section, you will again use ritenuto, meaning gradually slowing down. As for the performance, pay more attention to the delicate top notes of the right hand. Highlight them, but not too harshly, so that this melody resembles the sparkle and glitter of diamonds, or the way snow shines in the cold. By the way, there's a good comparison, as sparkling and light as possible. Let's move on to the third section. It departs from the main theme, allowing the musical structure to calm down a bit, almost like it's reloading. I consider it an updated version of the first section, with the same musical expressive melody and with the use of 16th notes. However, in this section, even 30-second notes appear, which makes the melody more delicate and swirling. Let's break down the right hand part. It will descend lower to the second octave of E flat using the third finger. And here you will make a beautiful embellishment or decoration. D, E, D. D will be the main note, and E flat will be auxiliary. We start from D, touch E, and return to D. It's better to perform this with agile fingers, as I do with the second and third fingers. Then you descend and make a finger substitution. You will land on the fourth finger. After that, you descend to the second finger and to the note A. Here, there will be a quick movement to D, with a slur in the first finger will shift to G. Very beautiful wave goes upward to the note E flat. With the finger's placement, a similar embellishment will now be with the important D note. We will again make a finger substitution. Or you can skip the substitution and return with the first finger. D. If you landed with the fourth finger, you will start from this D with the fourth finger. Make a substitution, as you need to rise upwards. A, B flat, tight, descend, and again 3 preparatory notes for the beautiful theme. I want to focus on the groove where the embellishment with the fast note duration occurs. If you look at the first notes, D, E, D, D is the main note, and the upper note E is auxiliary. Don't apply force from the first note. On the contrary, lead toward the last note. This way, you'll be able to play them faster. Glide over them. After that, there are calmer note durations. You need to have agility and speed in your fingers. Don't be sluggish. The correct rhythm will sound like this. Ti-li-ti-ti-ti-ta, and a 5 and 6 and 1. There will be 2 places with the musical embellishments. Be attentive. Now let's perform the entire section with the right hand following the correct rhythm. I will count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the way, there are very captivating syncopations in measures 22 and 26. Syncopation is when the accent of the strong beat shifts to the weak one, creating the effect of an unexpected rhythmic shift, which we can observe here. For example, in measure 22, instead of D being on the fourth beat, where the strong beat is usually felt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has shifted and is played earlier on the third beat, which creates the effect of surprise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will sound the same in measure 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's move on to the left hand. If you glance at the left hand part, you'll see that it has the same playing as in the first and second sections. So I won't break it down. We'll go straight to combining the right and left hands. Let's go. I'll play together. 1, 2, 3, the secondary bass, then the embellishment, together, together, and this was the syncopation, and together, the right hand rests, and now it flies upwards to E flat. Now there will be an embellishment, G, change finger, let's fly upwards, syncopation, and again syncopation, and the familiar ending. Transition to the next part. The more you play the plays with 30-second notes together, the better and more natural it will sound. Also pay attention when combining the hands in measure 26, that the notes will not sync metrically. Try to start the motif slightly and add some dynamics toward their conclusion. Or build dynamics within the motifs. They will have form and dimensionality. From a performance perspective, at the beginning of the third section, return to the speed of the original tempo, a tempo, and play as lightly as possible in terms of dynamics. Show the playfulness and lightness. It's truly somewhat dreamy. At the end, you can observe the ritenuto. Again, there is a slowing down at the end of the third section. The next section is the second presentation of the main theme. A beautiful, familiar theme that sounds in contrast to the other section. Plain arpeggios and harmonic progressions. We need to check if everything is perfectly identical or if something changes. So, I'll play from the beginning. It's like everything is familiar. Harmonies, waves. But here, wow, something new. And then again, everything repeats without change. Indeed, the first time I played it like this. And now, instead of this, there is an embellishment with 30-second note durations. Very similar to the embellishment in the previous section we analyzed, but it has different notes. I recommend using the most agile and comfortable fingers again for playing these 30-second notes. For example, second and third fingers. A, B flat, A. Then, when moving upward, you can skip one finger to take the note again with the top finger, or keep the fourth finger. It's up to your discretion. Practice it many times in the same way, making sure to connect it with the first note of the next measure. Then try playing it together with the left hand. As for the left hand, it seems to follow the same logic. But pay attention and compare measures 30 and 34. They differ in the secondary bass. In the first case, you actually play the same way as before. But in measure 34, the secondary bass changes and moves down to D. Everything else remains unchanged, so I'll play the entire section with both hands, adding this beautiful embellishment. Perform it at a tempo and at mezzo forte, not too loud. Starting together. Second wave harmony. Third harmony. Arrived at E flat major. Hear the embellishment. And together. Touch D, a new secondary bass, pay attention. Moving up with the right hand, and now the beautiful traditional ending. Slow down at the end, ritenuto, and there's a hairpin. It indicates a decrease in dynamics and fading out, so gradually lower the volume in this section. It's not just that, it marks the conclusion of the theme and a more contrasting change, a transition to the climax, to a special section. So, the fifth section. Compared to the other sections, this one is the most dynamic and emotional. It has, by the way, different musical content. It seems to challenge, assert its point. It is characterized by being driving and energetic. The melody becomes more intense through octave doubling. The harmonies in the left hand also change, giving new shades. This is actually the first time throughout the composition. So let's begin analyzing it. Let's start with the right hand melody. Seeing the right hand plays in octaves, there's a certain fingering rule. When playing octaves on the white keys, we use the first and fifth fingers. If the octaves are on the black key, then the first and fourth fingers are used. You might ask, why? To illustrate, using the fourth finger is very convenient for stepping between octaves, as it is longer than the fifth. And, so to speak, the fourth and fifth fingers will move like a chain, crossing over each other. And there's something to hold on to so you don't slip off the key. It's not always comfortable, but this technique is very useful in ascending or descending passages. So, the playing will be octaval, starting from the note G, the octave, and ascending. You'll use the fourth finger to cross over as you land on the black note B flat, and then you'll jump to C. It can be done in a leap. After this, you descend from D and return to A. Then you rest. You'll repeat with 16th notes, rise to B flat and gradually descend. The second phrase is similar to the beginning, but with 2G. Again, we rise to C, then from D descend. You will return to A and repeat with this note. Now there is a rise in pitch to C, D. The speed creates a striking sound. After that, you descend and make another upward movement. By the way, it's a familiar upward motion. You can tell that the melody is not stagnant here. It is in constant motion. It goes up and down. It consists of two phrases that have the same motive. Playing octaves is not an easy task, so you may need more time to ensure the clarity of octave playing. They are quick transfer, especially when there are larger jumps. For example, the transition from measure 44 to 45, where there will be a quick and large descent to the fifth. Practice similar challenging places. Now let's play this section in the correct rhythm. It will begin with the pickup phrase taken from the previous measure 35, 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's move on to the left hand. I've already mentioned that the progression of harmonies will change slightly, so let's get familiar with them. C minor starts just as you already played. But here, instead of G, it's F major, which gives a sense of hope. And yet, it enters the tonic G. But here we have a double harmony in one measure, and it descends to E flat major. The theme repeats again. C minor, F major, F thirds, and again double harmonies. G minor, again the bass is in octaves B flat and E flat, with two transition measures to the next section. So, in some places the harmonies have shifted their positions to create more excitement in the music. Also, in measures 40, 44, two harmonies are used. Because of this, they are more compressed in size, which creates a quicker change in mood. So, be attentive in these spots to make sure you can switch harmonies in time. And accordingly, you'll need to change the pedal twice so that the harmonies don't overlap each other. I'll play at a tempo. C minor, F major, G minor, and immediately B flat major, E flat major. C minor, everything repeats. F major, again double harmonies, B flat, descend into E flat, familiar ending. Now we will combine the hands together. Let's play slowly. Pay attention to where your right hand will enter. It starts first. I'm playing now. Then together. The left hand plays once and then together, together. The left hand alone, together. Repeats. Playing the main beat. Together and together. Here combine on the octaves. Again, right hand, together. Left hand repeats. Right hand, together, together. Left hand alone. Now together. Combine. Combine again. At the end, together. Together, step back. and step up. It's great! Practice more the measures 38, 41, and 42, specifically the second halves of these measures. They share one thing in common. It's the right hand's entrance between the left hand's playing. So they won't start together. The left hand begins, and then the right hand immediately follows, and together. This needs to be played until it flows naturally, so nothing will hold you back here. If there's a pause, a gap will appear in the music. The rule for these places is consistency and continuity. Regarding the musical expressiveness of this section, as I already mentioned, it's the climax and more dynamic than the previous sections, so it should be performed expressively, louder. In measure 37, at the end, there's a hairpin drawn for a crescendo. Then in the following measure, it's forte, so you need to gradually build up to a loud dynamic. The a tempo marking also indicates that we return to the original fast tempo. Since the main melody is in the right hand, it should definitely sound louder, especially the upper notes of the octave. The upper voice plays an important role in creating a beautiful, brilliant sound. So work well with your fifth and fourth fingers to activate their strength. In the right hand, the phrasing, make sure to increase the dynamics for each motive toward the end. Shape it. The peak will be in the second phrase in measure 44, where the pitch climbs. Measures 45 and 46 will go downward with the ritenuta slowed down. Now let's play the original tempo with expressive performance. The right hand starts. Now we are approaching the conclusion of this composition. Part 6 is the final, third statement of the main theme. You already played it before and are very familiar with it, so this is the reprise. However, there will be a few small changes which you will now try to identify yourself. We'll play a game, find a few differences. I play the right hand. Then pause and identify 4 specific measures that are slightly different from the previous performance. So, shall we check? The changes occur in measures 47, 49, 51, and 54. Now, think about what exactly changed. Yeah, there are also added ornaments, fast execution of 30-second notes. Something similar appeared in the fourth part of the previous theme. There was only one ornament there, but now there are many more. Thus, the melody has become even more varied. Let's check what exactly will be played with each fingers. Play the harmony of C, as you did 3 times. And here the first ornament. I will use the fingers that are comfortable for me. Third, fourth, third, second. The third finger will be the main one around which the ornament is performed. The third will be the main, C. And then the descent will happen. After that, you will substitute with the fourth finger on B. You'll make the replacement. And you will play the waves as usual. The third wave, and here a new ornament appears again, adding G, A, G. It's a beautiful one. Let's connect it. Also with the third finger. After this, change your fingers and prepare for the next embellishment, which was already used before. A, B flat, A, with the black key. A is the main note and you'll go upwards. You can keep the fourth finger and play the C minor chord as usual with the fourth finger, or if you're used to the fifth, play it with the fifth finger. And the third ornament now appears with the third finger. C is the main note, D is the auxiliary. Next is the same without any change. Polish these ornaments well, as they need to be flawless, rhythmic, and sound refined, not harsh. And at the end, in measure 54, the melody will not ascend as usual, but will stay in place, because, so to speak, it's like an unfinished phrase. Now let's see if anything changed in the left hand. I will play it as well, and you should carefully observe if there are any differences. So, does anything differ from the previous performance of the theme? At first glance, it may seem like nothing has changed. It seems like everything is as it was. But no, there is a small change. In measure 48, the secondary bass note is also replaced with D. So, in measures 48 and 52, you won't play G, you will play D in the secondary bass instead of G. It's very important to pay attention to even the smallest details, so nothing is missed. Your focus is everything. Now, let's perform this section with both hands. Remember, the ornament in the right hand is played between the left hand's notes. This will be the most special presentation of the main theme, more delicate, more dynamic. As a conclusion to all of this, we reach forte and begin together. Ornament, D in the left hand, second ornament, and more. Repeat, second phrase, ornament, D in the left hand, F harmony, we step back as needed, and here we leave it in place. E, G, B will repeat for the second time in the left hand. And we reach the final closing phrase of the little coda. Indeed, the main theme is repeated, but it sounds simplified and lighter. The melody gradually slows down and in the end fades away with an upward lift. Let's play the right hand. It seems like nothing has changed in it. It's the same main theme. Descent, G, familiar upward lifts with 3 notes. Yeah, in the right hand nothing changed. It repeats the main theme. The left hand will no longer play the waltz accompaniment. It will just provide the harmony on the first beat of each measure. Let's see which one. The octave with the note C goes down and then ascends. An octave unison with the fifth, G, 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 it sounds quite stable. The next one is slightly lower, F, C, F. The baby line next to it indicates arpeggio, meaning to play it quickly and consecutively from bottom to top. With the right hand, the note, the left hand will meet on the top note of this arpeggiato. After that, the left hand will descend further to E flat and B flat with the octave. By the way, this is a tied construction, and in the next measure, it's tied and held. The simplified structure gives a hint of the ending, creating a smooth conclusion to the composition. Let's play this together calmly. The theme starts together, waves of playing, and here together, descent, arpeggiato, don't forget to execute it, and together at the conclusion of this entire story. Regarding the performance, it's clear that you won't play this loudly and quickly. Above measure 55, there's a mark in meno mosso which indicates the need to slow down and calm down. Below it, piano is written, so you should play even softer, more gently and tenderly. At the end, the mark in ritenuto means that we need to slow down even more. This will create the effect of a conclusion and the melody fading into nothingness. On the very last notes, the so-called I fermata indicate that the final notes should be held longer than usual. If desired, you can hold them until the sound completely fades away. Well done! You made it to the very finish. All that's left is to bring the entire composition together. Now focus on working on the integrity of the piece, its tempo and musical expressiveness. To better understand how to perform it, listen to the original version of the composition. Analyze how it sounds, what images it evokes, how it makes you feel when you listen to it, its structure and tempo. Mark the places that are special to you. This will help you convey these feelings through the music as well. Don't play it too technically, but think about the image you are embedding into it, and everyone will have their own unique interpretation. For example, personally, Idea 10 evokes a sense of dreaminess for me. I've created an image of a lyrical character who dreams carelessly, feeling that everything is light and overly rosy. Or does he still understand that such a thing won't really happen in real life? Because of that, there is a touch of bitterness and regret felt in the main theme. What comes to your mind when you listen to or play it? Please think about it, then try to convey that feeling in your performance. Now, we will play the entire composition again, in a calm, slow tempo. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The intro. Calm, melancholic, carefree. Remember to focus on the main melody in the right hand. Lead into the theme, and here comes the main theme. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Upwards and again with a more intense emotional charge. Moving upwards. Ritenuto. We slow down. Lead to the E flat, stable theme, with beautiful ornaments, syncopations. Preparatory movements, ritenuto, don't forget to slow down. And again we swirl and ignite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Upwards, ritenuto. Octave movements, forte. More emotionally. Harmony change. Very beautiful. We repeat again with second time. Upwards, a sharp descent. Diminuendo. Ritenuto and the main theme. Third presentation. Bass D. The ornament. D, don't forget. a bit calmer. G harmony, arpeggiato, release, and establish A flat major, go dissolve. When you've perfected the difficult technical passages, when you play confidently and freely with the pedal, which, by the way, is used constantly with a delay change when the harmony shifts in the left hand, then it's time to think about the tempo. There is specific indication for the original tempo, but sometimes that number can vary depending on your level of playing. The tempo marking is 60 per quarter note with a dot. So, in each measure, there will be 2 beats at a pace equivalent to 1 second. It's not a fast, but a moderate, comfortable tempo. However, considering the 16th notes you will play, it will sound quite lively. Now I will play the entire composition in the original tempo. I listen to the metronome for guidance, but I won't play with it since the piece has many places with slowing down. 1, 2, 1, 2. Wow, it's wonderful! Keep in mind the following nuances: dynamics, rhythm, articulation, clarity of playing, and tempo. Remember the transparency, lightness, airiness, and delicacy in your performance. This is extremely important. And even if you are playing in a slower tempo, still work on dynamic contrast so that the piece sounds expressive. Practice the individual parts of the piece, especially the one that pose difficulties. And most importantly, work with inspiration and soul, and your idea will be incredible in its own way. If you have any additional questions about the analysis of the composition, feel free to comment, reach out, and share your feedback on the work and my lesson. I would be incredibly pleased. You can also share your learning progress on social media and tag me. I'd love to see results and achievements. I'm wishing you the best of luck.